course, we got the fucking Solo movie coming out in May 2018. Movie about a fucking young Han Solo and shit. That's happening. But then in 2019, we're going to get Star Wars Episode 9, right? Continuing the story from Last Jedi. Yeah, and J.J. Abrams is coming back to direct that shit. But then, in 2020, we're going to get an Obi-Wan Kenobi movie. Yeah, Ewan McGregor is already signed on to come back as fucking Obi-Wan Kenobi for another fucking movie, right? So, that's happening. And then in 2021, yeah, Rian Johnson is going to fucking jumpstart another fucking Star Wars trilogy. Yeah, they've given him the reins to start a saga, 3 more fucking movies. And some people think maybe it'll be like a prequel and take place in the age of the Old Republic or some shit. Personally, I think it's going to continue where fucking 9 left off, with the universe with Kylo Ren and Rey and shit. So, it'll basically be Star Wars Part 10, right? And that'll probably, first of those will probably be coming out in 2021, right? And then in 2022, we're probably going to get a Yoda movie, right? And that movie will be the fucking prequel that takes place in the fucking, age of the Old Republic, right? And stuff, with a young Yoda running around in some kind of adventure, right? And then in 2023, we're going to get part 11 of Rian Johnson's new fucking trilogy of movies. Whatever the fuck that's about. Then in 2024, we're going to get a movie about Boba Fett. Yeah, they're making a movie about Boba Fett. That will probably highlight, the world of bounty hunters, because everybody loves Star Wars bounty hunters and shit. That's happening. And then 2025, we're going to get part 12, right? The final part of Rian Johnson's new fucking trilogy, right? And then there will be fucking 4 Star Wars trilogies out there. Can you believe that? 4 fucking Star Wars trilogies. Shit. Then 2026, we're going to get Rogue 2, right? Which is a movie about another team of, rebel soldiers who go on a mission to fucking steal the plans for the other Death Star, right? That other Death Star from Return of the Jedi, right? We were talking about the team that Mon Mothma was talking about in Return of the Jedi, right? Yeah. Then 2027, we're going to get a movie about Lando Calrissian. Yeah. Movie about a young Lando on some kind of mission to do some kind of shit. Right? And then in 2028, we're going to get The First Jedi. Yeah. It's going to be a story about the very early age of the Jedi Council. In fact, it's going to be about the very first Jedi ever. Right? Yeah. And then in 2029, we're going to get the Ewok Adventure reboot. Yeah, they're rebooting the Ewok Adventure. It'll be fucking awesome. And then in 2030, the Admiral Ackbar movie. A movie about Admiral Ackbar. Actually, it'll be about, Captain Ackbar, who's like rising up the ranks to become, Admiral, right? It's going to be a story about how he became an Admiral. Right? And then in 2031, we're getting Droids, the movie, which will be a movie that actually stars C-3PO and R2-D2 and will highlight the world of droids and shit. Right? Kind of like that cartoon show from the 80s. Then in 2032, the Cantina Chronicles, which will highlight several stories from the Cantina, from the original Star Wars movie. Remember all those wacky creatures that were in the bar? Yeah, we're going to get a movie about those guys. And then, in 2033, Return to Hoth. Yeah, we're going back to the ice planet from Empire Strikes Back. We're going to see Tauntauns and Wampas and lots of fucking snow. And then, in 2034, The Wookiees. A movie about Chewbacca's family. Yeah, about his little son and his wife and his grandpa. And it'll be fucking great. Oh yeah. And then in 2035, Jar Jar rides again. Yes, Jar Jar Binks, the most hated motherfucker in the entire Star Wars universe, is going to get a movie kind of like Logan, right? Where he's an aging fucking guy who's kind of on the run as one of the most hated people in the galaxy. But he goes out on one final mission, which, he'll probably die at the end of the fucking movie, but, we're gonna redeem the fucking Jar Jar character with Jar Jar rides again. And then in 2036, the BB-8 saga. Yeah, a movie just about everyone's favorite rolling droid. BB-8 is going to get a movie all for himself. And it'll be hilarious, it'll be adorable, and heartwarming. Then, in 2037, we're getting Lobot. Yeah, the movie about Lobot. That bald, semi-cybernetic guy who's hanging out with Lando and shit on Cloud City. Remember that guy? Lobot. He's getting his own fucking movie. Turns out Lobot is a secret badass. Right? He knows Kung Fu. He can, break a guy's neck in 3 different ways. Yeah, he's badass. Lobot's going to get his own movie. Then, in 2038, we're going to get the long-awaited Porkins movie. Yeah, the movie about Porkins, the fat X-Wing pilot that died in the first Star Wars movie in the Battle of the Death Star. Yeah, we're going to get a movie about that guy. Oh yeah, awesome stuff. And then in 2039, the Jabba the Hutt movie. Yes, the most fascinating character in the Star Wars universe. The big fat slug thing is going to get a movie made about him. Right? And then 2040, we get Curse of the Sith. Yeah, the movie that delves deep into the dark side of the Force, right? Is yeah. And then in 2041, Disney decides that the books, those big, massive number of books written about the Star Wars universe, those are all canon. And we're going to go back and retell the Skywalker saga. That's right. We're actually going to get a new trilogy with a new actor playing a younger Luke Skywalker that tells the tale of what happened after Return of the Jedi and stuff like it was told in the books. Yeah, 3 movies, this Skywalker saga in 2041, 2042, and 2043. And then in 2044, we're going to get the movie based on the book of the Millennium Falcon. That's right, the Millennium Falcon. The story of the Millennium Falcon is going to be turned into a movie. Yeah, and then in 2045, we're going to get the Lego Star Wars, the movie. That's right, the Lego Star Wars, the movie, because, Disney's finally bought Legos, and they pretty much bought everything by this point, And the Lego Star Wars, the movie, ends up being the most successful Star Wars movie to date. In fact, it turns out to be one of the most successful films of all fucking time. Oh, yeah. Right, and just reinvigorates the Star Wars franchise. And then in 2046, we get The Force. Right, The Force, which is like the ultimate Star Wars movie. It kind of reboots the entire fucking Star Wars galaxy. Yeah, and everybody loves it. The Force is huge, right? And then in 2047, we get Far, Far Away, which is kind of like a fantasy love story Star Wars. But this movie, flops at the box office. And then in 2048, we get Star Wars Battle for the Galaxy, which is also a pretty successful film, right? And then in 2049, Jawas, a Star Wars Adventure, movie that takes place, it's an animated movie starring Jawas, right? That's a big hit, too. And then in 2050, we get Star Wars Laser Swords, right, which is more of a humorous take on Star Wars. People say it's like Spaceballs, they're comparing it to Spaceballs, but a lot of other people really like it because it's in the spirit of the original spirit of Star Wars. It's laser swords, right? Yeah. And then in 2051, we finally get the remake of the original Star Wars. Star Wars Episode 4, New Hope. We're getting the new movie's called The New Hope, right? And it's a remake of A New Hope, but it's The New Hope, right? And we get mixed results to that. In 2052, we get the follow-up to that called The Empire Strikes Back, right? Right. And then in 2053, we get The Return of the Jedi, right? And these movies, remakes of the original Star Wars trilogy, but they don't really do very well. You know, they don't do well at the box office. Then in 2054, we get Star Trek Wars, which is the ultimate combination of the worlds of Star Trek and the world of Star Wars in this like crazy thing where like there's this interdimensional time rift in the worlds of Star Wars and Star Trek are combined, and you know, yeah, that happens. And then in 2055, we get the movie that goes back to George Lucas's original first draft script. Yes, it's The Adventures of Luke Starkiller, Journal of the Whills, right? Which is like the first part of a new saga that's based around a whole new kind of Star Wars universe. One more along the lines of, you know, what George Lucas had in mind in his first draft. And then in 2056 we get the follow-up to that, The Adventures of Luke Starkiller, you know, part 2. And then 2057 we get another installment of The Adventures of Luke Starkiller, right? And then in 2058 there's yet another reboot of the whole fucking universe, right? They rebooted again, but now it's more of a Mad Max type thing. And then in 2059, we get like another Lego Star Wars movie. Yeah, that's gonna fucking happen. Another Lego Star Wars movie. And then in 2060 we get, you know, another Star Trek Wars movie, which